Having a survival game without a building system is like having a game about islands without a boat. No, wait, it's still about my game. Sup builders, in this video I'm gonna add the most mind-blowing revolutionary building system you've ever seen in a video game. Probably not. Anyway, I didn't quite know at the moment how I was gonna make such a system, but all I knew is that for building I wanted to use hammers, so I added a few of them, a stone one, a copper one, and an iron one, and I added this bomb shelter and this well that you can build. The well is used for drinking water because I had some huge problems with it in my game, and the leaf stand is a fancy place to sleep because sleeping outside will damage the player now, but sleeping inside will heal you. You might say, hold on a minute, you said you wanted your building system to be flexible and allowed to build anything you want, yet you're showing some lame pre-built structures. Yeah, before adding the system that would allow you to build freely, I decided to add a few pre-made buildings. You can build them by clicking the right mouse button while holding the hammer, and yeah, it's just a crafting tab cosplaying a building tab because I thought it would be nice if it was universal. Then I did a storage where you can store your loot. I don't really like the UI, so I'll probably change it in the future, but oh my god, this model took me way too much time to make. I feel like I could have built the same thing in real life and it would have taken me less time. The hardest part was to add those ropes or vines, whatever. I also planned to add a small pre-built hut that would restore even more health, but I really didn't want to do it, so sorry guys, I guess you'll have to build your own houses if you want something better. Speaking of building your own houses, I watch a lot of games with building systems for inspiration, and almost all of them use modular building system where you can choose different details to build, like a wall door frame or a wall with a window, but I didn't like it because everyone used it. I wanted it to be different, you know, and I didn't think it was customizable enough, so I decided to make something in between of Minecraft and that modular system. You'll see in a second what I mean. So I added the stone and wooden foundations that you can place. I made them connect to each other like this, and you can even build on water so you can make bridges. However, you can't go too far away from the islands. Then I modeled the walls and checked how I think they should look like. You'd be able to place them like blocks in Minecraft on top of the foundations. Well, more like fences because they would also connect to each other. So I remade the models because I made them overcomplicated and made it work. It already allows you to build a lot of things, however sometimes blocks snap into places you don't want them to snap, so it's hard to build. And I'm not a huge fan of the holes in the walls, so I made building more responsive and removed the holes from the wooden walls and foundations. I know things are supposed to be primitive, but those holes just look ugly. Anyway, I added stone walls, but I noticed that with my visual style, things looks worse when the details pop out too much, so I remade the stone models and made them look more flat, just like your girl. And of course you can mix wooden and stone walls together to build something interesting. I probably should have added some more materials for building, but I decided it was time to add roofs to the game. However, it was probably the hardest part of this update because I was thinking about making everything automatic, so you just place roof and it connects the right way on its own. I made the models of the shapes the roof can be, but as you can see there's a lot of them, and you have no idea how sick I was of modeling those leaves. Unfortunately, I realized that making the roof fully automatic wasn't the option because it's really hard to figure out which way it should face, so I just made it face the direction the player was looking and connect with other roofs. However, I still had some issues with the roof directions. Stupid machine didn't understand my code, so it was super buggy and it felt like I was working on the roof forever. You might say, why don't you add a button to rotate them? Brother, that would be too easy, and I fixed it eventually. But then I realized that the wall should connect to the roof as well. Also, I found out that my roof was full of holes, so it took me a lot of time to fix them. Yeah, those were some hard times for me. I didn't sleep and I was listening to Thick of It and talk to a podcast on repeat, but I'm really satisfied with the results, and I even came up with a cool design for a creep. Doesn't have doors, not because I haven't added them yet, but because it looks cool, you know.
Stop the cap.
I wasn't finished with the roof though. I also needed to add flat roof for lazy people who don't want to make a proper roof, or for architects who want to make the roof look more interesting. Speaking of flat things, your girl again. Oh my god. Speaking of flat things, I also added floors that you can use as a roof if you think it looks good, or you can use them to build houses with multiple floors. Also, check out this umbrella and a table I made using the floors and roofs. I think they look really cool. But still, I'm low-key regretting making this building system because it's too complicated. I need to connect my blocks to each other in different ways and it's harder than it seems. Anyway, then I added stairs. Not gonna lie, I kinda cut corners on them because they don't connect sideways. You can only make them longer. But I thought they would look weird if they did connect sideways, so it's not only my laziness. By the way, you can do some crazy things with them. Bro thinks he's playing Fortnite. I know I should probably fix it, but I'll do it in one of my next videos. The next thing I added was a ladder. You can climb them facing any direction, which is cool, I guess. And to finish with building, I added a door that looks kinda tiny, but it's not a problem because I also made it so we can make double doors. I also wanted to add some kind of windows, but I think I'll make a different video while I enhance the building system and add more materials and things to build. So I guess I should subscribe to not miss it. Also, hit that sweet like button. For now, now I think we have enough blocks to build a nice house, but we don't want it to be empty, right? So I did this cozy looking bed made of leather for extra comfort, actually to make the recipe more expensive, but it doesn't matter. The leather drops from pigs, by the way, so you'll have to kill a couple of them to get a bed, and the bed gives you the same amount of health as a shelter when you sleep in it. Now what's the point of using it if sleeping like a bum is the same? So I decided to make it if a bed is outside, it would restore 10 health points like a shelter. However, if it's inside of a house, it would restore 20 health points, so it's better. I made this super complicated system that detects if you're inside of a house. Okay, I'm kidding, it just checks if there's roof about to count it as a house. Then I did some weird looking baskets for storage. They're very cheap and made out of leaves, but they also don't have a lot of space. Honestly, at this point I kinda regret adding the storage. Yeah, it can store more items, but you can only place it outside and it's easier to sort your items in baskets. But I guess it could be a good trash can, it even got the looks, you know. Unfortunately, I didn't add any more furniture because as a guy I don't really bother with it. But I added different footstep sounds when you walk on different surfaces. Walking on stone is like an ASMR for me, to be honest. After that, I decided to make the map bigger. I just wanted to add more beautiful places for building. So the new islands are not very unique in terms of content, but I think they won't hurt. I also added wine bushes because before, to get wines you had to chop down those huge trees. It was the only source of wines, and now we have these bushes. They also make the islands look more interesting. After making the map bigger, I finally decided to add a boat because the game was clearly lacking it. Yeah, imagine traveling like this the whole time. I feel sorry for torturing my players. I also tried to make the boat look good by adding some particles and sounds. You know, it probably would be cool to have customizable boats, but this will do for now. Then I did some minor but important things. I changed the coconut item model because they look too much like clay. I fixed a bunch of bugs and fixed the fish spawns. Before it was really hard to find them, so I decided to make fish spawn around the player, and now there's more of them to make the ocean look more alive. But to balance it, some of the fish are fast, so it's almost impossible to catch them. I also added more achievements to make the game more interesting, so there are more things to do. And at the end, I added save systems so you don't start over each time you open the game. But I had no idea what I was doing because I only worked with player prefs before, and this time I was using JSON because apparently player prefs are bad. Thankfully, my good friend ChatGPT helped me with that, and the only things left to do were to test the game and build a huge beautiful mansion. Alright, let's see what I've done. Let's open the game. Alright, I'll try to build a house and we'll see how it will go. So I started collecting the resources and then I made a boat to travel faster between the islands. There's a flying fish here. Dude, what the hell? I thought I fixed this bug. I collected some copper for the copper tools to get materials more efficiently because oh boy was I planning to make a huge house. But my dreams were crushed quickly because the game was super grindy, so I decided to make something simple. Dude, I need so much wood. Fortunately, I didn't need to care about the food because of this bug. Okay, I'm going this way. Dude, this is... What the f... But oh my god, was I grinding for the resources? I think I destroyed the whole population of trees around my island. Oh my god, yeah! This is a nice crib. All I need to do is to move my stuff inside and it's beautiful. I don't like this grass, but I guess it is what it is. So yeah, it was really expensive to build this house. I will fix that. So if you wanna build your own house, the link in the description. Also check out my other videos.